Hey everybody, Sergeant Show here. How y'all doing? You know, I just been sitting around the house tonight drinking some margaritas, thinking about some stuff. And I connected some dots and I'd like to talk about it with y'all. If that's okay. So I get lost in thinking of how broken our system is. I get lost in thinking of how broken that I feel like the people within the system are. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to impact it. I'm not sure the way forward, something that's positive, something that is uplifting, right? And I think back to when you're in the military and you start asking questions about why, you start asking questions about what's going on there, what's going on there, what's going on, and you get that answer. Worry about the 3 feet in front of your face. Worry about the 3 feet in front of your face. And I feel like there's a lot of life wisdom in that statement. And I don't necessarily mean literally 3 feet in front of your face. But what I mean is like when you wonder about like what you can do, like how am I supposed to change the system? Well, the 3 feet in front of your face, that's how you change the system. Or the pattern of your view, if you prefer that. What can you see? That's how you can impact the system. Who do you know? Have good relationships with them. Do good to people. Give people the benefit of the doubt. You know, it's so easy to get wrapped up in all this stuff about hatred of the other side. We're all just people. We're all just trying to figure this out. I don't have this figured out. You don't have it figured out. Nobody has it figured out. That's an illusion. But if you worry about what you can see, like the people that you see every day, the things that you do every day, the way your behaviors, your actions, like that has a radiating effect because then those people around you see that example. And then maybe that's the way that they act towards other people, and then other people, and then other people. Like, so if you're dissatisfied with the system, the best way to implement some type of change is to make sure that you have great relationships with lots and lots of people and help them understand what you think, right? The cream floats to the top. When you live in a tribe, that's one of the best things about the tribe is your shitty ideas get exposed as shitty ideas. You know, sometimes that needs to happen. They're not all good ideas, right? But when you have good ideas in a tribe, it just immediately is implemented, right? Because you're close with these people, you love these people. This is your tribe. So when you have a good idea, it's immediately implemented. When you have a bad idea, it's immediately identified as a bad idea. But you need lots of people around you. You need lots of people of varying statuses and backgrounds, and you just need to have good relationships with your family. You need to have good relationships with your coworkers, right? Like what you can see is what you can control. Well, not always. I mean, that's a false statement. But what you can see is what you could potentially control. Spinning your wheels about stuff that you have nothing to do with, that is not in your line of sight, you are just creating your own anxiety. You're creating your own stress because you're worried about stuff that's outside of your field of view. Worry about that. Be a better neighbor. Be a better father. Be a better husband. Be a better employee. Be a better citizen. Take better care of your yard. Find a hobby, right? Like worry about this that you can see, like this. And that's the difference that you make. When people exude happiness, other people notice that. Like your choice to be happy, your choice to love the people around you, even though this world is crazy and it seems insanely helpless. Like loving those people and creating that bond, that is magnified. That is magnified. And, you know, when you die, if you really want to leave a legacy, have good relationships because your money will be gone. All your Facebook likes and your YouTube likes, gone. Everything gone except for the impact that you made in people's minds and their hearts, relationships. That's all that will be left. And the thing is, it won't even matter because everybody lives through hard times. Like, let's say we're on the verge of some kind of civil war. Let's say that we're on the verge of some type of a societal collapse. People have lived through those times before. And still, relationships is the only thing that you leave behind. What's in people's minds, what's in people's hearts. That's the only thing that you leave. So I think that if you want to make an impact on the current situation, you stop listening to all that stuff about what's happening outside of this area right here. If what they say on the TV is really happening, as much as it is actually happening, you will experience it. It will happen to you. And then you will know that it's real. And then it will be here. And you can react to it appropriately, right? But until then, you can't live your life thinking about what every single person all over the world may or may not be experiencing at any given time. You have to worry about this and be good to this and take care of this. Right? It only makes sense. And it spreads. Because I know people like that. And it makes me full. When I see how full someone else is, regardless of their circumstance, regardless of what's going on in their life at that moment, they're always thankful, always kind, always happy. Like, that fills me up. And you could be that person for someone else. And then they could be that person for someone else. It's exponential. But if you listen to all the horrible things that are happening and all the terrible things in this world, you can never be that person. You could never be that person. And it's not to poke your head in the sand. It's not about being ignorant. It's just about understanding what you control and spending your maximum effort on that. And that's here, everybody. That's what you can see. Those are the people right in front of you. That's your family. That's your coworkers. That's your friends. Building relationships, doing good by them, helping them, right? That is the only way that I see that I know that I can have an impact in these crazy times. And there's probably smarter people out there than me. And they probably have a lot better ways to make an impact. And I'll defer to them in that regard. But it struck me and rung in my heart as true when I thought about how do I make a change? Like I always say that people act like they don't know what's right and what's wrong. And I don't I don't believe that. I think that people know what's right and their own version of right. Okay? So I'm not saying like right in the scientific scale, but I feel like generally people know what is right. They just don't calm themselves down and listen to themselves enough to let it come through when they're confused about what is right and what is wrong. I feel like they know what is right. Like it's like a tuning fork inside of them. But they have to quiet all the noise. They have to avoid all the distractions long enough to quiet themselves down to hear that tuning fork. And, you know, it can be hard to make decisions and it can be hard to know what's right and wrong because you are so distracted. I go through the same thing all the time, but I really find that if I sit down and meditate with it and I really get into my, not my brain, because I don't want to say, because if you get too far into your brain, that's toxic too. Like get into your, like your soul, like your core, like where you feel at peace, where you feel at one with the universe, and you get to that spot, and there's the truth, like always right in front of you. So these are some deep and crazy thoughts. I understand. I appreciate you guys humoring me to listen to me, but I really, when my tuning fork rings, I listen. I think that's important for you too. When your tuning fork rings, when something sounds truer than true to you, you should also listen. There's a lot of things that go into that feeling that you don't understand. There's a lot of things happening in your body, in your brain, in your, there's a lot of things that you don't understand. But when that tuning fork goes off, when you have that moment, you should listen. And that's what this is about. Listening, being happy, being good and kind and protective of everything that's like right here. That's how you make a change. We can all do it together. See ya.